Phil here, Wings of Pegasus, and I had a little bit of spare time, so I thought I'd whip down an acoustic version of a track called Amelia, which will be on the album once it comes out. Now I've decided to sit on the squeakiest chair ever. Hopefully that won't affect it too much. Now the idea that I've got in my head is to play along like a version now, and then play along to that version afterwards, and then hopefully sort of sync it up somehow. But it should work. In my head, I think it's going to be fine. So let's see. Imagine if I told you all the things that I never took the time to tell. Even if I told you, you wouldn't understand that you and I is lost forever. Under all this emptiness, each time I try to get inside, you're running my own, no time for talking. Amelia, Amelia, how could you leave me on this way? I knew I should have stayed away. Amelia, Amelia, there's nothing more left to say. It's time to go our separate ways. They say the time is a healer. I don't believe what they say. I'm broken anyway. Ever since we parted, all this pain has started. It's never ending. Under all this emptiness, each time I try to get inside, you're running my own, no time for talking. Amelia, Amelia, how could you lead me on this way? I knew I should have stayed away. Amelia, Amelia, there's nothing more left to say. It's time to go our separate ways. Don't tell me you love me when you're sorry. It's not enough. Ooh, no. Only this time I woke and broken free. Amelia, Amelia, how could you lead me on this way? I knew I should have stayed away. Amelia, Amelia, there's nothing more left to say. It's time to go our separate ways. Amelia, Amelia, how could you lead me on this way? I knew I should have stayed away. Amelia, 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 Amelia. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another live stream. And this particular live stream's had a little bit more of a relaxed start to it because of the requests over on Patreon. Thank you guys for those. We started off with the acoustic version of Amelia, and that's one of my original songs, by the way, that you can pick up at wingsofpegasus.com. Let me get you guys up on screen to see who is in the house tonight.
And on this live stream Tuesday, we have Pamela and Maria and Billy, Sam's in there, Kathy, Mary, Deborah, Carla as well, Jennifer, Laurie, Selena, Suzanne, Shirley, Neil as well, and then all the names start going through really quickly. So, hello everybody, thank you for joining me on this Tuesday night, and a big hello to the moderators, of course, as Neil went through there. Thank you guys, especially for keeping the community such a great place to be, that live chat room such a great place to be, and keeping things ticking over throughout these live streams. And you're able to see Neil in there, Carla as well, Laurie, Susan and Dennis. They'll be in there somewhere. Their names are in blue and they have a wrench next to their names. So thank you everybody for joining me tonight. If you can leave a thumbs up as you come through the door, that would be fantastic, because tonight we are aiming for 335. That is the target for tonight, and the target that we have set on the Pick Roulette likes goal. So it means that if we hit that, we're going to be having another Pick Roulette next week. We're having one tonight, so stay tuned for that. And we're also going to be having an extra spin where you can win a pick tin and some different picks that go in the pick tin, different coloured picks that are all Wings of Pegasus picks. I'm seeing how many times I can say picks. Anyway, we'll be doing that later on. So 2 spins in December. We're just doing it as a Christmas thing. So we had the first 2 spins on the last live stream. We're going to be doing another 2 spins tonight. So it could be your lucky night. Anyway, let me get the names of my patrons up on screen as well, because they are the reason that this is even happening in the first place, as well as all the other videos on the channel. So thank you guys for all of your support. You know who you are. And a big hello to the new patrons whose names I've just added on to the end of the list. But thank you guys for your support. You know who you are, and they do pop up in the super chat window and the PayPal window as well. So thank you guys for your support in the live streams as well. So it's been super busy, so busy in fact that last night I did the post on Patreon. And I said, oh, I'm just about to set up the live stream for tomorrow night. And I did the post on Patreon. I then started answering some of the questions and messages that I get on Patreon, started doing those. I then went over to, I think there were messages on Facebook, and there were some emails that I had missed out. Oh, I had to do CD orders. That's the other thing that I said in my post on Patreon last night, that I just had one of those to finish off. So in the midst of all of that, I forgot to set up the live stream, because I did all of that stuff and I finished it at the normal time I go to bed, which is usually about 5:30, 6 a.m. So I finished it all and then woke up the next day, and I think it was this afternoon that I thought, did I set up the live stream or not? So then I rushed to set it up. So apologies for that. If you're a part of the really, really early bird crew, then it wouldn't have even been possible to post a comment, because I was a little bit late setting it up. So we will see how many people tune in, considering the fact they haven't had much warning. But we are here, we are live. As always, I'll always tell you guys if I'm not going to be live. I haven't missed a live stream in literally years, so I'm not going to be starting tonight. Even if I'm setting up the event a little bit late, I'll still be live, never fear. So if we can have a spike of the likes, that would be great, because let me get the like-ometer up on screen. We are at 142, so we'll keep a little eye on that. Let me get a little bit more centralized. We'll keep an eye on that to see if we can get a little spike of those thumbs up. That would be fantastic. So, the other big news, 212,000 subscribers, another little target that we've hit. So, thank you guys for subscribing, liking, commenting, and hitting the notification bell. If you want to not miss a video, that's what you have to do. And let me see if this is going to work. It is! And I spelt subscribers correctly. I was just looking at that on the screen thinking, yeah, did I actually spell it correctly? And I did, yes. So typing isn't one of my strong points. Probably spelling as well, but there you go. 212,000 subscribers and another target that we've hit, which is great. And I'm trying to hear whether there's any applause in the background, because I think last time I did this, applause started up or something like that. Maybe it is quite low. Maybe you guys can hear it on the other side of the screen, but it might actually be something that I've paired. I actually paired it together with it coming up on screen and then disappearing. The clapping and the cheering should have stopped. So anyway, getting very fancy with my setting up of the live stream, but there we go, another ridiculous number, which is fantastic. We will keep on pushing forward and see where we end up, and just great to have so many of you joining in with the live streams as well, because this is the time at which I actually get to see you guys live, and I can see all your names going through the live chat room. We have the donations, of course, as well, where I get to read out either questions or messages and all that kind of stuff. And I do keep an eye on the live chat room just to see what's going on in there, especially on the videos. If I haven't forgotten to do something during the live stream, in which case I then use the videos to try and set up something that I've forgotten to do. But if I have organised it correctly, then I'll be able to look into that live chat room, especially when the videos are going on. But I can see you all in there. So Susan and Dennis, for example, saying, we hear applause. So that is great that I set that up correctly. So the other thing that I was going to mention is about the tumblers, and these are not the tumblers on Spring, which you can get on Spring. There's a link in the description below. There will also be merchandise in the tray underneath this video if you want to get your hands on any merch, but the tumblers that are the glow-in-the-dark ones that Carla has been making up. And I do believe that Carla needs 2 more orders in order to get them delivered. I think it's a minimum amount or minimum quantity kind of delivery thing, so she's looking for 2 more people that would be interested in, wait for it, this tumbler. I actually have it on me, and it is glow in the dark, so it absorbs rays from the sun, and then when you turn all the lights out, it goes, I think, a greeny kind of colour. I do have a picture somewhere, like a greeny blue. In fact, I know it's a greeny blue colour because I was testing it out last night and it was glowing in the dark. So it has all the tumbler functions, and it's got the Wings of Pegasus logo on there. It's got some guy's hand on there playing a guitar. And so, it's just got my necklace in there as well. So these are the tumblers. If there are 2 more people that would like to get their hands on said tumbler, then just let Carla know and she can get all the wheels in motion in order to get that going. And the good thing about the tumblers, which I enjoy, is the fact that it keeps my tea and my coffee hot for a very long time. And this is a little bit more cylindrical, which is probably better for standing on a tray, because I sometimes have a snack on a tray that I'm walking around with. I think the other tumblers have got a smaller base, so they might be more prone to fall over. But anyway, the other tumblers are great, but these ones glow in the dark if you want to get your hands on one of those. And I can't demonstrate it now, unfortunately, because I have lighting from above me and a separate light that is in front of me and is up high, so that it doesn't kind of wash out the colour too much, so I can't demonstrate it live. But Carla did a video which she sent to me on Facebook, and you guys can contact Carla if you want to see that video of what it looks like in the dark. But anyway, just to throw that out there. And while we're throwing merchandise out there, here's a plug of the mug, because I can see that Orlando has donated $2. So thank you for that, Orlando. And he says spike the likes with lots of thumbs up. Great idea. And here's the Spike the Likes mug with Spike the Likes on the other side. If you want to get your hands on one of those to put your favourite live stream beverage in, then you can do in the tray underneath this video, or click on the link in the description below. Okay, so for the poll tonight, for the cover video, we have Silence is Broken and A Design for Life, I do believe. So we are 62% on Silence is Broken so far. Have a click on that if you haven't voted already to listen to either of those 2, and it's going to be my version of either of those 2. So if you are a fan of A Design for Life, vote for that one, because Silence is Broken is in the lead at the moment. But I do have to admit, I would quite like to see Silence is Broken myself, because I know this was the first ever cover video that I did on Patreon, and that I don't know how many years ago that is now, but it's my first ever cover video. So yeah, it's probably about I don't know, maybe in my early 30s, maybe early to mid 30s. So yeah, it's quite a while ago, but it'll be interesting to see how I have changed beyond all recognition during the years. But I haven't heard that song in quite a while as well. That was Damn Yankees. So have a vote, but I've now tried to influence you with your voting. But Silence is Broken, we will see, is in the lead at the moment. We'll see if that does continue as a few more people join in, and maybe join the voting a little bit later on, joining the live stream a little bit later on. So we'll see what happens with that. Oh, let me just mention that I think there was a donation that came in, and it was yesterday, so this was quite a while ago, and it's on the PayPal donations window. So let me just get that donations tab up on screen so you guys know that 35 to 45% goes to YouTube through the Super Chat window, and 3 to 5% goes to PayPal through the PayPal window, and the PayPal link is in the description below as well if you guys need to find that. But just so you get a lay of the land, and the donation that came in yesterday was from Brian, and this is for £10. So thank you for that, Brian. And I know that before the live stream started, I was emailing you, and I did send over an email, but just to mention that did come through, but you'll know from my email anyway. But thank you, Brian, for that donation. And just to scroll up, because Paul donated $5 as well. Thank you for that, Paul. And that was at 11:30, so half an hour before we started. And Paul said 212,000, hooray! Spike those likes, please. Let's enjoy this happy place. Thanks to Phil, and thanks to the moderators. So thank you, Paul, for that donation. But yes, I very much echo those sentiments of saying thanks to the moderators and all of you guys just for tuning in and joining me on the live streams. Let me just scroll up, because Sue has donated £20. Thank you for that, Sue. And Sue says, it's the catch-up crew again for me tonight. Spike the likes! Exclamation mark. So thank you for that, Sue. And let me actually get this up on screen. Hopefully that is now showing up. But thank you, Sue, for donating and not even being in the live stream, but being in there temporarily so that you can get into that catch-up crew. But hello, Sue, and all of you guys, all the members of the catch-up crew, guys and girls. I always use guys as a collective term for guys and girls. I don't know whether that's a normal thing that people do over in the USA or in other countries, but here in the UK, guys is like a collection of guys, even though I think technically it means men. But I think over in the USA, I've heard people say guys and gals, like GALS. So maybe that's what people say over there. But here, I say guys, just collecting everybody together. And it doesn't matter what you are. You're just part of the guys that join me. So thank you, Sue, and all of you guys. I say that on Patreon quite a lot as well. I say, hi, guys, before all of my posts. But anyway, thank you, Sue, for that, and all of you guys in the catch-up crew. Hello, and thank you for watching. And you can still hit the thumbs up later on. It really does help this video, the live streams, also the channel to grow as a whole. So let me just have a little scroll down to have a look at Paul's message, just to show you guys there. That was Paul's, because it wasn't up on screen until we actually got to Sue's donation. So thank you for these donations. And Lisa has donated $5 as well. Thank you for that, Lisa. And the message is, happy holidays. Phil, what is your favourite Christmas song? Thank you for that, Lisa. And this is a good one to throw over into the live chat room. Let's get some Christmas songs going. And let me think. This isn't my favourite song. I don't know why this has popped into my head. It is well, I'm gonna say that the song that popped into my head was Last Christmas. I don't know why that popped into my head, but that was Wham, I think, technically. I don't think it was George Michael by himself. I think that was still when it was Wham. But anyway, that popped into my head. I don't know why. I wish it could be Christmas every day. That's probably more suitable. Maybe a little bit of Slade. Yeah, this is... I'm trying to think of... Oh, there's a Christmas song by The Darkness called Don't Let the Bells End. So they always like to have a little bit of a joke with their titles of songs, but that's just another one to throw in there. But in terms of favourite songs, I suppose the one that's played most is... I wish it could be Christmas every day. That's what I'll go for. So that is my choice. So anyway, let me have a little look into the live chat room, because maybe you guys, please come home for Christmas, Cindy says. Rocking around the Christmas tree. That's a good one from John. Belle says, yes, it was Wham. So I don't know why that popped into my head. But it just, sometimes you have these songs that just for some reason pop in there, and generally it's because they are hooky and the chorus just jumps into your mind. Sometimes you might not even, I mean, I'm not saying that I don't like that song, I do, but there are sometimes songs that you don't even like, but they pop into your head because they are so hooky. The melodies just get stuck in your head for some reason. But anyway, yes, so I'm just having a look. Don't Let the Bells End. Weeping Scorpion is having a good laugh at that one. And so this is Christmas. Mark, another good one throwing in there. So thank you guys for mentioning those, and Lisa for asking me that question, but it's a good one to throw out into that live chat room and get everybody in the mood for Christmas. We're getting closer. I think we're probably at about the 7th of December at the moment. I don't keep a track on the dates. They all, to be honest, every month seems to blend into the next, and all of a sudden somebody says it's almost Christmas, and I look at the diary and I realise, wow, we're in December already, and it's actually December the 8th here, because it's now Wednesday technically, because it is 23 minutes past midnight here in the UK. So it seems like we've lost another day, because I thought it was the 7th. It's actually the 8th, and not very many days to Christmas. I've got to do Christmas shopping. This is the other thing that I have to remind myself to do. Otherwise, I will forget. I'm literally going to have to make a note to buy some presents for people to make sure that I don't forget, because before I know it, it will be 2022. That's exactly what happened last year with 2021, and then it'll be 2023. So I'll have to keep organised. But as long as we are meeting up on a Tuesday night and a Saturday night, I know that everything's fine. As long as other people are here, caught in this time warp with me, then it's absolutely fine. We'll just keep on making our way through it. So, thank you, Lisa, for that donation and the question. And Lucy has donated £12 and 7 pence. Thank you for that, Lucy. And the message is, today, December 7th, marks the 5th anniversary of Greg Lake's passing and King Crimson and ELP. And tomorrow marks the 41st anniversary of John Lennon's passing. I will be listening to I Believe in Father Christmas by Mr. Lake and Happy Christmas, War is Over by Mr. Lennon. Don't forget to spike the likes, y'all, with some Rockhorn's Heart and Peace. So thank you for that, Lucy, and a few more suggestions there as well for good Christmas tracks. So I'm just going to scroll up because another one has come through. And Mark has donated £4.99. Thank you for that, Mark. And the message is, how long is your request list? If I add a request now, when would it get analysed? So thank you for that, Mark. And the simple answer to this is, I have no idea. Unfortunately, I don't count the list. I just add things to it. And it's very long, I do know that, and I can't give a date on when something would get analysed because I just work my way through it. And if I was trying to get dates on all of the videos in sequence, it would probably take me about 2 years to organise that. So I'm just getting through them one by one. I just make a note of them on my lists when they're in the comments section. This is the other thing that I do get requests on Twitter, Instagram, emails, through the website as well. So there's 4 different avenues of requests that come kind of down into my email inbox. But as I say with every single video, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and let me know if there's any other requests in the comment section. So I generally get, I'd say 80% of them from the YouTube section or the YouTube comment section, because that's where it's easy for me just to scroll through and make a note of the requests as I go through them. When I have to start getting requests from Instagram and Twitter and emails and my website, it starts to get a little bit more difficult to keep a track of all of the requests. So I'd say the most accurate way of you requesting something is to put it in the comment section underneath the YouTube video that you're watching. And it doesn't matter which YouTube video, I do go through all of those. The only times that I won't see it is if YouTube holds the comment for a particular reason, whether they think it might be spam, or I know that it does hold back comments that have a lot of emoticons on there, so try not to use too many of those. And those are the pictures of like the happy face and thumbs up and the hand doing the rock horns and all that kind of stuff. So try and minimize your use of those. But if you just put a comment in there with a request, then I will see that, and you can even put in a link to the video, so then I can click on the link and then go straight through to it. Because what I generally do is, if somebody makes a request, I read it, I mark the comment with a heart and a thumbs up to show you that I've read the comment. I press on the link, which then takes me through to my YouTube app, and I'm now watching the video on YouTube, and I watch maybe the first 5 or 10 seconds because that is now in my history. So it means that when I go through my request list, when I look at I then write down the name of the artist and the song. As soon as I type that into my history on YouTube, it will take me directly to the video that I have watched. So it links them together. So this is why it's good to have the link and the request in YouTube, because then it's going to be logged as part of my history. If somebody sends me something as an email, for example, I might not have that link take me through to YouTube. It will just stay as a link and it won't take me directly there. So then I have to write down the request, and then I have to find the video myself, which just adds a lot more time to me to try and find the exact performance that has been requested. So anyway, as I said, it's a lot better for me if you just put it in the comment section, like I say on the videos, at the end of the videos when the whole like and subscribe thing comes up and the screen goes into the smaller screen. But anyway, Mark, thank you for that donation and the question. And just scrolling up, because Belle has donated £7 and 22 pence as well. Thank you for that. And the message is, love your videos, Phil. Thanks for all the wonderful smiles I get from your videos, with a smiley face. So thank you for that, Belle. And no problem. Thank you for watching the videos in the first place. I always say I'll continue to make them if people continue to watch them and continue to request them. So thank you, Belle, for that. Let's have a quick look at the likeometer. 210. If you can hit that thumbs up, it'd be massively appreciated. We're aiming for a huge 335 likes tonight, and we will see how close we get. It's always a bit of a race against time. It's midnight here in the UK. We've got another 45 minutes on the air live. We'll see if we can get a little spike of the likes in order to get ourselves closer to that target. By the way, Jennifer has donated $5 in the super chat window. Thank you for that, Jennifer. And the message is, Phil, a fellow winger asked about your experience on that music talent show. Are they really rigged? Thanks. So thank you for that, Jennifer. And I'm not sure how rigged they are. I know there are some acts that they want to put through to the next round. And generally, I mean, when I was on the show, I was obviously one of those that they wanted to put through because I was just being crazy, and I made for good TV, which was the point of me making the point that if you just make a spectacle of yourself, you'll get through, and other people that should be getting through, who are actually talented, don't get through. So anyway, when I was getting through, I know that they wanted to put me through, so the first 3 producer auditions, and this is it, that when you go on these shows, the TV part that everybody sees is well later on in the process. You've probably had about 3 months worth of auditions and waiting before the TV part happens. So you've got to get through the first 3 auditions, which are held well in advance. They are held generally, I think the first one was in April, May, June, July, August, September, October. So the first audition you do is 6 months before you do the audition that is then on TV. So this is it. You have to get through lots of stages. So the first audition I didn't even sing. I just ran off with my acoustic guitar because I was just taking the mickey, basically, and they put me through. So I thought, okay, right, I understand how this works. So the second audition, I did the same thing. This time it was in a room. So you go into the room. I just played the intro to Johnny Be Good and just walked out of the room. They put me through again. I did the same thing on the third audition, played the intro to Johnny Be Good and then walked out of the room. And then I made it through to the TV stage. So I hadn't really done anything in order to get on the TV stage. But those first 3 auditions, loads of talented artists and independent artists, singers, were told no, and I was getting through without actually singing. So anyway, it meant that it was proving my point very well. So I know that they put through people that they want to put through. As for how rigged it is, I don't know. All I can say is that on the TV stage, the producers of the show are constantly going up to the judges. Obviously, you don't see it on TV, but they're constantly going to the judges and they're saying something to the judges before each act comes on. And I don't know what they're saying, but I suspect there might be some kind of state of play or update that they give to the judges as to whether they would like or not like this particular artist or singer to go through. And I say artist, it tends to just be singers that are on that particular show. But yeah, that was on my experience. What I do know is that when you're interviewed, you are told what to say. And there's lots of things that you're told to say, such as, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I'll never have this chance again. I want to do this to make my family proud. I'm trying to... what's one of the other things they tell you to say? But there's lots of different lines that they feed you and say, oh, if you could say now that this would mean the world to you and that you've been trying to do this your whole life, say that kind of thing and what it would mean to you to get through. So they're giving you all these lines for when you're filmed and you're effectively interviewed. So you just say those things, and because I was playing the game, and I was playing the game for my own reasons, of course I told them exactly what they wanted to hear, that I had been, well, with me, I had been doing it my whole life, pretty much, so it wasn't really a lie. I started playing guitar at age 11, but I know that they do sometimes have contestants who are like 14 years of age, and they've been saying, I've been doing this my whole life, but their life maximum is 14 years and I've been doing it for longer than literally their whole life, and that was even back then when I was in my early 30s. So yes, you are fed all of the lines that you have to say. I think certainly getting to the TV stages, they are, I wouldn't say rigged, but there's definitely probably a leaning towards certain contestants that they want to put through for particular reasons. They might have something in their backstory that they want to put on screen that they might have spent a lot of time filming previously, so they'd lose a lot of footage if that person didn't go through, that they then want to show more on the prime time slot and maybe the live shows later on in the competition. So anyway, I think when it comes to the voting and they're putting it out there, I don't know what happens with that. I'm assuming that it is fair, that people are voting for the people that they want to keep and their votes actually count. I hope that is the case, but I don't know on that particular side of things. With the TV talent shows, It is really about, I think you've got to understand it is about the TV. It's not about the talent, because if it were about the talent, then the first thing they would do, as soon as you got an audition, on the X Factor, for example, if it was about the talent, as soon as they got on stage, you'd have the artist's website, the name of their album if they've recorded an album, or their single if they were releasing a single. You'd have their stage name, their band. If it was about the artist and the talent, you'd be given all of the information you need to go and check out their website, check out their independent music. But you don't get that. It is all about the judge. If you watch these shows, it's all about the judges, to the point where on our version of the X Factor, they've actually filmed little scenes that happen between the judges in the show. So about, I don't know how long, out of an hour of a show, probably 15 or 20 minutes, maybe even longer than that, is just the judges and then backstage and what they're doing, and somebody having a joke with Simon Cowell, and then he's got up late so everyone's waiting for him, and you have all of that kind of stuff. So it's nothing to do with the actual people singing and their future career. It's about the judges and whatever's going on, the drama that the judges are having on that particular day. So like I said, if it was about the talent, I would love to see a show that was about the talent, which meant that the people that are up on stage, you can show their album, their website, how to check them out, all of their social media pages, so that they got exposure for what they do on TV to a mainstream audience. So yeah, I would love to see a show that is just angled that way, rather than looking from the stage at the judges, which seems to me totally pointless, to have the focus out of the stage at the judges, turn the camera around and actually have the focus on the artist, so that you get to see not their life, how they do it, in terms of going back to their kitchen and watch them making breakfast and them saying, oh, it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. Take a look at their musical life, what they've done, and the fact how long they've been singing for, what the gigs that they've played, the venues they've played, how many albums they have, all this kind of stuff. I'd love to see something that is music based rather than TV based, focusing on judges. But anyway, let's not get too much into that. I am fortunate in that I do know it from the inside out. I have done it. I've been all the way through to the main TV stages at Wembley Arena. So not even the first audition, I've been all the way through to the second auditions. So I've been on a very long journey through those TV shows, and that TV show in particular, so I know exactly how it works and how all of the pre-auditions work as well. It's a very long process to get to even the TV point, and it's quite misleading. I think everybody on TV watching it thinks that everyone who's on TV has just turned up on that day for the filming on the TV, and that is not the truth at all. There have been thousands and thousands and thousands of auditions that have been told no before you even get to the TV. The TV is, I'd probably say, where the numbers have been whittled down from maybe 10,000 to 300. You maybe get 300 people left over who are getting to the TV. So it means that 9,700 people have been told no, and all you're seeing on TV is the final 300, of which I would have been one of those. So, because those particular gigs, it is not a gig, it's far from a gig, but those auditions have been whittled down to maybe 300 people, because the Wembley Arena auditions, I believe, for London were held over 3 days, maybe 4 days. So it means that you are having maybe an audition would take 10 minutes, maybe 15, 20 minutes, let's say 10 minutes. So it means you can audition 6 people an hour, and they're maybe doing 4 hours. The judges aren't sitting there like for 12 hours or 16 hours or ridiculous amounts of time. They get there at about 11 in the morning till about maybe 3 or 4 in the afternoon. So you're looking at 4 hours. So that means you can audition 24 people in a day. 24 people times 4, so you're looking at, what's that, 96 people for the whole of London, and then you go to the other main cities in the UK. So it probably works out about right. 300 people, 400 people tops that are getting seen during the TV stage. So it gives you an idea of the thousands of people, as I said, like 10,000 people that turn up to audition. When you get to see the people on TV, they have been whittled down massively. But anyway, I could talk about this all night, but it's 20 to 1 already. Thank you for that donation, Jennifer. Orlando has donated $2. Thank you for that, Orlando. The message is Feliz Navidad, and that is Jose Feliciano, of course. Another mention of a Christmas song. Thank you for that, Orlando. And Alexandria 825 has donated $20 as well. Thank you for that. And the message is, thank you for all the info you always provide. Angel blessings with lots of praying hands. So thank you for that, Alexandria. And that is always going to remind me of Indiana Jones, Alexandria. For some reason, I don't know why. I'm trying to remember which movie it was from. I can't remember. Maybe... I'm trying to think. The problem that I have with Indiana Jones is that I watched the Temple of Doom first when I was a kid. And I believe that's in the wrong order. So it means that when I now watch them, I think that's the first one. But that wasn't the first one. I'm not sure which one was the first one. Maybe Raiders of the Lost Ark. That might have been the first one. And then Temple of Doom maybe second. But I watched them in the wrong order when I was a kid. So that always set it incorrectly for my mind now in adulthood to try and remember which one was which. And the Last Crusade was obviously the last one. That should have been the last one. I think it was the last one. I say the last one. You've got that Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, which I have to admit I wasn't that into. I am very much into the older Indiana Jones movies. But yeah, the Last Crusade, Alexandria, I think it's in the last one. So that's why. Anyway, just going off at a massive tangent just because Alexandria donated $20. But thank you for that. And I can see that Kathy says Raiders of the Lost Ark was the first one, and Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Belle says thank you for that. I don't know whether that was, I'm assuming that is the last one because it's called the Last Crusade, but of the last one of the old ones. Anyway, thank you for that donation. Jennifer has donated $7 as well. Thank you for that again. The message is, Phil, last question. New winger and me wants to know, if you were asked to sing for the Queen or royalty, would you do it? Which song would you do? So thank you for that. I thought that was going to be something to do with when I was on TV. Loads of stories came out in the press about me singing at the West End, in Rock of Ages, having a big performing career, which I didn't have. Also that I played at Wembley Stadium, which wasn't true as well. I played at the O2 Arena, so maybe the O2 Arena thing got mixed up with Wembley Stadium. And you get all of these things that come out that say about, I think maybe they just typed in my name and saw that I had a big history of actually performing music and gigging. And yeah, they kind of made up, and they said an inside source tells us that Phil has been in Rock of Ages in the West End for a very long time and all this kind of stuff, which isn't true. And I'd be interested to know who their inside source was for that story. But I thought this was going to be one of those where you wanted to know if I had performed for royalty, thinking it's one of those stories, but it wasn't. It's asking me if I were asked to sing for the Queen. Would I? Yes, I would. And I'd pretty much sing anything that I had been asked to sing, because I think it would be an honour in order to perform in front of the Queen or just royalty in general. Not many people get to do that. But if I was to perform a song, I don't know which song that would be. Maybe one of my own songs. probably not That's Metal to my ears. It wouldn't be particularly relevant, depending on what the event was. I don't think a song called That's Metal is particularly, appropriate for royalty. But anyway, maybe Paris Nord. That's probably one of my most pop mainstream, I'd say, type songs, especially on the album. It's got a lot in there, strings and all of the kind of stuff that I did through the MIDI keyboard. So yeah, I'd say Paris Nord if I had to choose one of my own songs. But thank you for that, Jennifer. And talking about songs, let's have a look at the vote for tonight. 61% for the cover, Silence is Broken. I'm going to end the poll and see where we end up for the final result. And I'm trying to click on it. There we go. It took a little bit of time for that to register. But we will see what goes through as the winner. I mean, it's unless there's going to be a sudden landslide. Just before I clicked on the button, it was Silence is Broken, 60%. And there were 205 votes. So thank you guys for voting for tonight's poll. Keep on hitting that thumbs up. We've got just under half an hour left of the live stream. And we are at 262 likes. We're aiming for 335. So the race is on to get there before the end of the live stream. So anyway, thank you guys for voting for this particular cover. And I hope you enjoy it. I think I say this on the video. It's my first ever Patreon cover that I did. So I hope you like my version, and I'll see you guys in a second. Rock! Hi guys, Phil here from Wings of Pegasus, and this is my first ever cover video on Patreon. The song is Silence is Broken by Damn Yankees. And thanks everyone for your support, and I hope you like the video. See you later. Rock!
Close your eyes and know it's safe inside to sing your lullaby. Broke the chains, now you won't be silent anymore. Oh no, now you're gonna shout about it. No, no more. Yeah, yeah, this is the end. The silence is broken. You can change the world. No one can take away your world. The silence is broken now. It's over now. The words have been spoken. We're there.
And there we have it. That was my version of Silence is Broken by Damn Yankees. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. Again, an oldie but a goodie. One of the first covers, actually the first cover that I ever did over on Patreon. So thank you guys over on Patreon for supporting me all the way back then up until now, because without you guys I wouldn't actually be here and still moving forward and still making videos and doing these live streams. So thank you guys so much for all of your support. The names at the bottom of the screen are my patrons. If you want to get involved yourselves, you can head over to patreon.com/Wings of Pegasus, and that is the link if you want to go, or just type that into your computer and it will take you there. So let's move that off the screen, because we had another donation in the PayPal window that came through from Suzanne. So thank you for this. And it's a donation of £14.45, and it is a straight up donation. So thank you for that, Suzanne. And I just want to make sure that I don't miss any out, because another one has come through. And Mary has donated £5. Thank you for that, Mary. The message is: Phil, is it still too early for your awesome Jingle Bells cover? Consider this small bribe and just play it, with a face and a Christmas tree. So thank you for that. I think it's still a little bit too early, and I would have to set it up on the live stream beforehand, because it usually takes me about 45 minutes, a little bit longer than that, to set up the live stream. So I need to make sure I've got all the videos that I need, with a corresponding button so that I can click on it and you guys can see exactly what I'm hoping the video that you'll see when I click on the right button. So it won't be tonight. We will see a little bit further on, maybe. But then once I've played it once, then that's it, because you can only really, if I just keep on playing it every single live stream, people will get bored of it. And we do have 2 live streams a week, and we still have a few weeks to Christmas, so it's still a little bit early on for my liking. But thank you for that donation, Mary. And Jacqueline has donated £1.98, so thank you for that, and it is a straight up donation as well. So let me just scroll up, because another one has come through, and this is Sandra, who has donated £20.81. Thank you for that, Sandra, and the message is: thank you for making me smile. Thank you for that, Sandra, and no problem. I don't think it's up to me to, that's going to make you smile. If you're smiling, it's a subjective thing that whatever you're smiling at, you must like. So thank you for liking whatever you might be watching that's on the channel that you might like and find entertaining. I do hope that the videos that I do make here are educational and maybe entertaining at the same time. Hopefully I can point out a few things. And interestingly, somebody did message me again today about copyrights and contacting Studio Hamburg and all that kind of stuff, because they had received a strike on their channel. And one thing that I would say, which is really important for copyrights, is make sure your content is transformative and educational, and that you are pointing out something about the performance that you're watching that people might not know. So whether that be guitar chords, vocal registers, range that they might be singing, all of these kind of things transform the video. So for example, with the auto-tune videos that I've done, I've got on screen a vocal pitch monitor so that we can see auto-tune represented in a vocal waveform, so people can now understand what auto-tune is on a visual level, not just in audio or something that they'll listen to. So that is transforming something into something else, and it's really important to try and grasp that that is fair use. When you transform something, it's fair use. Whether the transformation happens through commentary, i.e. talking about it, whether it be just pointing out things about the video, whether there are so many different things that you can do to transform. Like I said, visually showing people one thing, comparing it with another thing. But it's really important to have that aspect in your videos. If you don't have that in your videos, it's really difficult to claim or argue against a copyright strike, because the thing that I had in my defense was that I emailed Studio Hamburg saying that I believe that the video that I have used is transformative, that it's educational, and that is why the video's been used as a reference point for what I'm talking about with relation to music. Even I don't like to get too much into music theory, but when I'm talking about 1-4-5 chord progressions, major chords, minor chords, diminished chords, all those kinds of things, I'm using that in relation to the video that we've just watched because it is relevant. So we need that video to be educated about what is happening and how to play it on guitar, for example, the chords you'll need, or how to sing it, the vocal registers you need to work out. Anyway, this is the thing, that when you're using copyright material, you can't just have it on your channel and then say, oh, I loved that, I think it was great, what they were doing was really good, I really enjoyed it, please like and subscribe to my channel. Because that hasn't transformed what you've watched. It's still the same video. Somebody's going away from that, hasn't learned that the vocal range of the singer is baritone between this note and that note, and the high note of the chorus is this, the chords he played were those, and all of that extra stuff is stuff that you educate people about. So this is, I think, really difficult to try and explain, but hopefully you understand that if you do have videos that have copyright material in there, and like me, they get a copyright strike, when you then try and dispute that claim, the person who's made the dispute will look at your channel and they will judge whether they think it's fair use or not. And this is why it just so happened that Martin was the guy who watched my channel and then decided that from Studio Hamburg that it was fair use, and then freed up all of their videos to be used on my channel for the purposes that I use them on my channel, which is for education and to transform the original performances. And I mean, the fact that a lot of musicians watch the channel as well, I think is testament to the fact that there's a lot of education that goes on. Even professional musicians are watching the channel, professional producers. We had Warren from Produce Like a Pro, who was in actually the live stream the other week. We've got other channels. Michael Hamazano's been on the channel before as well, and he's got a channel called Guitar Gate where he goes through a lot of guitar theory on there as well. So there's lots of transformations. Rick Beato as well, who transforms what he's looking at. You've got to have that transformative element to it. So this is why Studio Hamburg then allowed me to look at those performances, and then you get musicians getting in touch as well, which is great. June Millington, she's been on the channel, and that all came about because of the Studio Hamburg copyright strike, which was then struck off because Martin realized that it is being used under fair use circumstances, and it was then allowing me to use their footage, which meant then I could get together with June and talk to her about one of the performances from back in the 70s. So yeah, that was, I mean, it had a really positive outcome. But the moral of the story is, if you have a channel and you've got a strike on one of your videos, if you have any other videos that you aren't using as a reference point to educate and to transform people's viewing of, I'd say remove those videos to save yourself getting 2 or 3 strikes, because those 2 or 3 strikes can happen instantly if you've got other videos that are like the one that's been striked. So I would say, yeah, just be really careful with it and remove those videos if they're not transformative. I would say, as a guide, if there's a 5 or 6 minute performance video and you're talking for 1 minute, you can't transform 5 or 6 minutes of performance in 1 minute. It's going to be impossible to get all of that information in. So as a guide, if you're looking at performances that are 5 or 6 minutes in length, I think probably 10, 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes you'll need to spend on that to point all the things out about the... I mean, you could go, as I say in my videos, I could go on for years explaining things about a performance, but you want to make sure that the majority of your video is explanation and not just looking at somebody else's song, because in which case the majority of your video is their song. So even from a copyright perspective, you could argue that yeah, it is going to be borderline because it should be mostly your video explaining things, and maybe a quarter of the video, maybe a third of the video is the reference material that you're looking at. But anyway, there's no set time on it for copyright. It just has to be transformative. So just make sure you are doing that. Anyway, thank you for viewing the channel. I thought I'd just mention that because I have been asked a couple of times now about copyright strikes and the way that they work and how to get them reversed. You just have to make sure that your content is genuinely fair use, and just typing up the fair use law on your channel will not make it fair use. You will still get a strike on your channel if it's not deemed to be fair use by the copyright owner. It doesn't matter if you put that in the description or if you put it on the video. It's unfortunately not up to you to decide whether it's fair use. You might type it on your videos, but the fair use is decided by the other people who own the copyright and by a court of law ultimately. But anyway, we're going to jump into the super chat window because Doug has donated $10. Thank you for that, Doug. And the message is David Gilmour's solos on Comfortably Numb has been voted in ranked 1 of the best solos ever recorded. I tend to agree. What are your thoughts? So thank you for that, Doug. And I did actually say on the last live stream that the most difficult thing is to play slowly rather than to play fast, because fast is just muscle memory, it's repetition. Everyone can play fast if you've got enough time to dedicate to it. But playing slowly and accurately, for example, trying to play something like Comfortably Numb with the same expression, you can have all the time in the world and you might not ever get the same expression because it is so unique, and David's expression is so unique through the fretboard. You're trying to take on a personality. So you can have 10 years worth of solid practice, you might not ever get to that final goal of getting the expression right, but you can have 10 years practice and you will be able to play fast. You'll be able to play whatever you're practicing at that speed because it's just constantly practicing, gradually speeding it up. So it's just the same muscle memory over and over and over again, whereas putting the expression into techniques, that's where it gets really difficult. So yes, I would agree that the best solos, in my opinion, I wouldn't say the best, but the ones that are hardest to play are ones like Comfortably Numb, because you are trying to mirror expression and not just playing notes after another that don't have expression in there, because you're just getting 16 notes in and 16 notes in maybe a second, 2 seconds, or even faster than that. So you're just trying to get them in. You can't get expression into those notes. You can maybe put expression into a run as a whole, but not into every one of those notes because they're too fast. So that is the difference. It's very difficult to play that slowly with the same expression, and this is why a lot of guitarists just play their own way. That's the best way to play, rather than try and copy someone exactly, because you'll never be able to do it, because there's only one of them on the planet as there is only one of you on the planet. So you might as well play to your strengths as they have played to their strengths of just playing your own way with your own expression. But anyway, thank you for that, Doug. And Brooke has donated $10 as well. Thank you for that, Brooke. And the message is, incoming. High five, fire, cover, rock. So thank you for that. I'm just trying to understand what that means. Incoming, high five. Oh, is there an exclamation mark there? It looks like it's all one word, but high five, fire, cover, rock. Oh, so maybe that is a compliment about the cover. I don't think we have fire as a compliment here, maybe, or I just don't know the modern terms for what's good and what's not. The last thing I heard, bad, meant that something was good. So yeah, trying to keep up with everything is impossible, especially when they're giving the meanings the opposite of what they used to mean. But fire, cover, I'm sure I've heard of a fire sale. I'm not even sure what that is, but I know that it means that everything's just going out the door at really cheap prices because it is a sale and it's happening very quickly. But anyway, thank you for that, Brooke. And yeah, I'll have to get used to using fire as a compliment. But thank you for this, Orlando, as well. The 80 pence donation. And the message is, I must start cutting up vegetables for a late dinner. Steak stir fry this time. That sounds pretty good to me. I will leave the super chat, but we'll watch the live stream. Have fun, everyone. Rock! With lots of rock horns. So thank you for that, Orlando. And steak stir fry. Sounds good. That reminds me of my Chinese place where they have a beef stir fry, I think. And it's kind of a bit of an excuse to have stir fry when you're working out, because you can say, well, it's beef, it's protein, I need it. It's just the oily noodles are maybe not as good, but it's all very good when you eat it. So thank you for that, Orlando. It always makes me hungry when I start talking about food on the live streams, and now I could really go for a bit of steak stir fry. But anyway, Orlando, thank you for that and for now making me hungry. So let me just jump into, I think, the pictures. It's 7 minutes past 1. I know there have been other PayPal donations. We'll get to those in a second. As soon as I start trying to talk more quickly, I end up talking more slowly because I can't get the words out quickly enough. Anyway, we're going to jump into just one picture for tonight. And let me get the background up on screen so that we can take a look at this. Let me actually scroll to where the pictures are on the software. And this is coming in from Paul, who has given us this t-shirt. Oh, I should have mentioned, there's some very strong language on this t-shirt. So what do they call it? Viewer discretion is advised. So here we go. Ruddy Bumguff, are you yanking my crank? So here we have some strong language from the cartoon version of myself with the headband that came with the hair and the disappearing legs. So thank you for uploading that, Paul. And I don't think these are in production, but thank you, Paul, for putting that up on screen. I'm sure there might be a way to get those in production. But yeah, it's something that, unfortunately, at the moment, I'm just trying to keep up with everything. So I don't have a lot of time to spend on other merchandise and branching off into real life stories merchandise. But thank you for that, Paul. A very good looking t-shirt, and probably one that I would wear because people, I'm sure that my mum would have or take great offence to me wearing this, even though none of the words are actually swearing or blasphemous on any level. But that is the point of the t-shirt. But thank you for that, Paul. And it would be the point of that t-shirt, but was the point of the real life stories and my language on that. So anyway, let me get rid of the background because we're going to be jumping into the pick roulette now. So everybody, good luck. We don't have a top tip. I'm going to pick that in a second as we see the wheel go around. We'll jump into it. Good luck, everybody. See you guys in a second. Rock. So let's get the wheel up on screen. And you can hopefully see that we have the t-shirts here, which are the darker segments. Let's pick out Rich, just as I was over that. So Rich is the top tip for tonight. And I was just thinking that I didn't even know, with videos and stuff, in the UK and Europe, the frames per second as standard is 25, I believe. And everywhere else it is 30 frames per second. And I think that I've made videos in random frames per second. So sometimes when things go a little bit weird on the live stream, for example, I think this intro, the Tuesday Pick Roulette, sometimes goes a bit weird because it might have been set in 30 frames per second rather than 25 frames per second when I made the video. And I know that that happens on some of my music videos as well. So it might actually be my fault that things look like they're going jumpy, and it's not my internet connection, it's just my lack of editing expertise. But now that I know, I can edit everything in 25 frames per second for the UK, and hopefully it should go out across the internet, across the UK version of YouTube over the server a little bit more smoothly. But anyway, we'll just have to deal with it cutting out because that's the way that I've made them. Anyway, let's give the wheel a spin and see who's going to win. and I can stop talking and blabbering on about nothing. So, good luck to Rich. Let's see if I maintain my 0% record of picking the winner. By the way, we're going to be having another spin after this. So stay tuned, because you could go away with a Wings of Pegasus pick tin with different coloured picks as well. So, here we are slowing down. We can see Carol going through there. Lisa. And we're going to go past the t-shirt. And we had Mary, and Mary again. Melody. Is it going to get as far as Anita? Maybe. It looks like. Oh yes, it has. So congratulations to Anita, who is the winner tonight. I maintain my record of 0%, picking the top tip. So commiserations to you, Rich, for picking your name out before the wheel was spun, and commiserations to everybody else. But never fear, because we're going to be spinning the wheel again. First of all, Anita, if you can let yourself be known in the live chat room to Carla, that would be much appreciated. She can get your address and make sure that everything is organised with you to get the signed pick sent off to you. So congratulations to you. And let's jump into the other wheel. Let me just centralise it a little bit to make sure that... I'm just watching it on the screen, trying to get it in the middle. There it is. So, this is for the Wings of Pegasus pick tin and the multicoloured Wings of Pegasus picks. So, let's give this a spin. Let's see who's going to win this one. And I didn't do a top tip for this, so everybody's got just as much chance as everybody else, because I haven't placed the curse on anybody. Just waiting to see any of the names. Slowing down. We have Patty going through there. Carol going through. Corey. Jill and Lisa, Karen, Shawnee Key, or Sam. Is he going to get as far as wishful thinking? And there it is. It was almost Vince, but it's wishful thinking who has won the Wings of Pegasus pick tin. So congratulations to you, and if you can let yourself be known, that would be fantastic. Let yourself be known to Carla in the live chat room so that you can pick up your Wings of Pegasus pick tin and the multicolored picks inside it. So actually, let me get rid of the roulette screen so that I can hold up the pick tin. There it is, and it's even got some picks in it, and it's got this little function on it so it stays closed, so you can keep all your picks in there. What do I have in here? I have a lot of Wings of Pegasus picks in here. We have one of the signed ones from, you can only get one of those because of the pick roulette. We've got the purple one. We've got one of the Beatles. That's just a random one that's made its way in there. We've got a Fender pick in there. We've got the black and white Wings of Pegasus one in there. So lots of picks in there. But the ones that you will receive will be probably the purple one, the black and white one, the creamy white coloured one as well. So that'll be inside your pick tin. Wings of Pegasus pick tin with open and close function, which I guess every tin has. So, but this actually stays closed. So wishful thinking, congratulations to you. Now, if you want to enter next week's pick roulette, it's going to be a little bit borderline because we are at, I haven't even checked where we are at. Oh, 329. We're looking for 6 more people to hit the thumbs up to have another pick roulette next week. So let's throw this out in there into the live chat room. If you can hit that thumbs up, that would be fantastic and perfect timing at the moment. I'm going to type at Carla Murray in order to tag her name, so that once I've selected her so that she's tagged, I'm going to type I agree, so that if we do hit that target, then next week my name would be on the wheel. It isn't put on the wheel because obviously me winning my own stuff would be a little bit silly, but there we have it. We just passed that target, so thank you everyone for hitting that thumbs up exactly on request. So now, if this is your first live stream as well, introduce yourself, first of all, to the live chat room, but type I agree and tag Carla Murray in that comment so that you can get your name. If you do that, and just do it once, that's really important. Only do it once. So once you have done that, get your name on the wheel for next week. That's what you need to do, and it will be on there. So, and we're having 2 spins every live stream whenever we hit the target for December. So we're doubling the winners quite literally. So, yes, commiserations to all of you that didn't win, but this is the great thing, that if you enter your name, you'll be in next week's. If you tune in on Saturdays as well, you'll double your chance of winning, so you can win on a Saturday and a Tuesday. So, anyway, thank you guys for joining me tonight. It's just gone 1:15. I want to leave a little bit more time for you guys to type I agree, even though it's a little bit late in the live stream. I am just going to jump into the PayPal donations window. I'm just going to get these up to date. So this is your chance, guys, to quickly type I agree in the live chat room, because I'm going to get through these donations and then we'll be calling it to a close. But thank you, Donald, for this £3.61 donation. And the message is, hi Phil, if this has been discussed before, my apologies. Can you briefly explain capos? What dictates their use and why? The guitar, the song, the musician, or all three? Thanks, and your version of Paris Noir. Paris Nord. Awesome. So thank you for that, Donald. And capos are, as I lean over, which I have my acoustic guitar that was sent to me by Mario. So my acoustic guitar on loan. Do I have a pick in here? I can't even see. Anyway, okay, right. We'll have to do a little bit of fingerstyle. I don't know if you can hear that. I don't know if it comes across. So capos, as you can see here, we've got our C chord, and it's actually not a C chord because it's a D. So if I was, first of all, it might be the case that I couldn't do bar chords and I wanted to get the open strings to ring out a little bit more, so I would use a capo in order to get this nice, nice bright sound to the chords, so you can play all of your shapes down on the bottom of the guitar, rather than if I was playing a D bar chord, it means that I'd have to kind of stretch over like that and play it. Oh, I don't even know if you can see the guitar. I'll hold it. Okay, this is going to affect my playing ability, but never mind. So that would be my D chord, whereas if I was playing a D here, it's not a D anymore, because the note you'll hear is that's your root note. Even though I'm playing the D shape, this is actually an E. So the reason for doing this is, first of all, you might have a song where you want the open chord voicings, and the capo allows you to do that, rather than having bar chords where you have to bar across the whole guitar and therefore not have any strings ringing out. Generally on acoustic guitar, it's a lot better to have strings ringing out. It just sounds nicer, and it kind of takes the pressure off doing bar chords, because some people might not like to do them in the first place. But if you do a bad bar chord, then you get that sound. Whereas if you're playing your shape here, or if I'll just play the D again, you can get a really nice ring out from the strings, and just make sure you're not leaning on any, you'll be fine. So that's the first reason. Second reason is vocally, you might know your range really well, and you know that when we play that particular song, it's too low for me, so let's raise the pitch. You might have learned the song with your E shape, for example, like that, but playing an E down at the bottom is too low for your voice, and this happens a lot with female vocalists. Generally with guys, they go lower because they're generally in that baritone range, so they're hitting lower notes naturally, so they don't really need to move things around too much. They're not going to complain about being too low unless it's a really wide range they have to cover, in which case they will need to take it lower to then hit the high note, because then the high note comes down the lower you take the whole song. Anyway, when we use the capo for the chords and for a vocalist, it's either to raise the pitch so that it's now sitting in their range more comfortably, or it might have been played with a capo in the studio, so you've got all of those open chord shapes, and then you might want to lower the key of the song, so then you use a capo to move it down all the way, if you want to open strings, which then solves all your problems because you're playing with open strings anyway. So generally those will be your main reasons for using a capo, and the main reason above all is to change the notes to either ascend or descend without having to change the shapes that you're playing. So it makes it a lot easier, and you'll see a lot of acoustic players playing with capos in order to keep the advantage of the open strings. You won't see a lot of electric guitars with capos on unless it's pretty clean tone and they're playing something that was maybe played on an electric guitar. You won't see Slash, for example, with a capo up on his 5th fret, 7th fret and doing a solo with his capo here. If he does have a capo, it's probably on acoustic guitar. So that's the thing. It's making bar chords easier. So, I mean, that could be a reason. I know that some players do use capos because they can't do bar chords. So that's one reason. Second reason is for the voicings of the chords to get them to ring out nice and clearly. Third reason is for vocal range, to change the key of the song without having to change the way that you've learned to play the song. So generally those are the main reasons for using a capo, but you can also use a capo just to change the pitch of custom tunings. You might tune your guitar in a totally different way, and then you want to use that totally custom tuning up and down without having to retune your guitar. Again, if you're just modifying pitch as an ultimate goal of using if you're just doing that ultimate goal of just changing the pitch of the tune of your strings, then the capo moves it up and down. Hopefully that makes sense. Maybe I've just confused everybody, but thank you, Donald, for that donation and the question. Paul has donated £7.22 as well, so thank you for that, Paul. Let me just scroll down so you guys can see that one. And Orlando donated $2 as well. Thank you for that, Orlando. And the message is, I'm glad I caught a full live stream. Adios, with a wave. So Orlando is off. And yeah, thanks, Orlando, for making me feel hungry in this live stream, mentioning that beef chow mein is what I'm thinking of from the Chinese. So yeah, I mean, yeah, beef and noodles, I guess, is a similar kind of thing. I think in chow mein, I'm going to stop talking about it because I'll just get too hungry. Anyway, it's 23 minutes past 1 here in the morning. I'm gonna have to obviously finish what I do here and then have a snack of some description. But thank you everyone for joining me tonight. I don't know where the time goes on these live streams, but it's over already. But thankfully, there's going to be another one on Saturday night, so make sure you can join me for that. And Tuesday night next week, if you have entered into the pick roulette, then you'll have a chance of winning. But join me on Saturday night as well, because there's still going to be 2 spins on the pick roulette wheels then, because we did hit the target last week. Anyway, I'm going to be doing another video tomorrow night, and I've got another video on Friday night. Probably, I think, Friday night is maybe going to be an auto-tune or pitch correction. I know that we've had a few guitar ones recently. Tomorrow night is going to be another guitar breaking down performance on acoustic guitar. And yeah, I think Friday might be an auto-tune one. I'm going to have a look at my list, but I remember in the back of my mind somewhere that, yeah, that'll be next on the list. Like I say, I'm just going to work my way through the list. I know that there are, pitch correction ones on there, auto-tune ones on there, guitar ones on there, singing ones on there, and full band performances on there. So I'm just going to keep on working my way through it, and we'll see where we end up. It's all music, and we can all learn something, I think, about music from looking at it from lots of different angles, but also about music production, which I'm very interested in myself as well. But anyway, thank you guys for tuning in tonight and for hitting that thumbs up, getting us to another likes goal. It is a huge likes goal. 335 on a Tuesday is crazy, but thank you for getting us there and for getting the channel to 212,000 subscribers. Just amazing, a ridiculous number. But like I said, we'll just continue on forward as we have been. And if you continue to subscribe and hit that notification bell, you'll never miss a video. Thank you everyone for your support on these live streams. with the PayPal donations, the Super Chat donations, and also these people at the bottom of the screen for being the foundation of everything that I can do, so that I can even appear on these live streams in front of you guys so regularly on a Tuesday and a Saturday. So I'll catch you guys at tomorrow night's video, and I'll catch you guys live on Saturday night again. Stay safe, follow your government's advice, wear your masks if that's what they're advising you to do, and your jabs, all that kind of stuff. And I will catch you guys at the next one. Rock!